Ding, 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 ding. I think it is getting time. Well, a lot of people is on COVID time. They're always behind. That's time. They're always behind. So we're gonna give them one more minute, and let's see. Okay. See, I told you, COVID time. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Alex.
All right.
Welcome, Joe. Welcome, Linda.
Hi, Laurie.
How are you?
Good.
All
Your hair
right.
is beautiful. Your hair is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, now that you all are here, I can get off now. Y'all can have fun now.
Oh, Alex.
Hi, Joni.
Hey,
Hi,
hey.
Joe.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Jody.
Hey.
Wow, Joe, your room is bright today. Nice lighting.
Turn the other light on.
Yeah, makes a difference. We can see you
Yeah.
with your long hair.
Yeah,
Our hippie friend now.
Yes. Hi, Audrey.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Long time no see.
I know, sending everybody hugs.
I know. I miss you guys live, by the way. I really do.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Me too. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, Larry doesn't.
Next time we do more dishes.
That's funny.
It's not that she doesn't miss you guys. She don't miss the preparation.
The cleanup, right, Laurie?
Yeah, exactly.
Clean up.
But I think it's. Do you all vote? I think it's time for Joe to put a ponytail. No, I think you need to tie a top high ponytail.
Ponytail, no man bun. No man bun.
All you need now, Joe, is a little red sports car, and you got that whole Italian thing going.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convertible.
You just need to get that red convertible, then you have a whole line of ladies behind you.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with an Italian with a man bun, Joe.
Oh. Oh.
So, you got a wonderful feedback today. See, Joe?
Yes, thank you.
Let's see. Okay. I'm good. All right. I guess we can get started on a small group today. I think I need to send my email 2 weeks ahead instead of just 2 days ahead or 3 days ahead.
Yeah, a week.
Well, I thought everybody got it on the calendar already. You know, we don't need to do it. You know, whoever can come, can come. So I'm glad Robin is here. This is awesome. Robin, you have to represent your group. Your group.
Hey, Robin.
She's the dedicated one. I like it. All right, let's see who else is coming. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, welcome everybody to another Now and Then gathering. And it has been a very interesting time. So we'll start off with, how did you all respond to the election?
Eh.
Is the election over yet?
My kids had to tell me the results. I haven't been on social media.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
Okay, you're thrilled. This is very interesting. There is a very neutral space here. So that's good. Then you all can, in this neutral space, and all this is still in the. It's funny how this whole thing, even though it's clear, and yet it's still unclear. You know,
It's clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, to me it's clear, but to a lot of people it's unclear because they're still in the debate and they're still trying to do something and everything like that. But that's the trend of that. What do you call it? The trend of the last 4 years. A lot of these things like that. And so we'll see how it's all going to change. And, and it's funny how the COVID exploded, and all this stress and chaos is just adding to all of this thing. And so once you step out, COVID will come down. So let's see. All right. So do you all have any question for us?
Why are you wearing that T-shirt, Mike Bloomberg? I like him too.
That was when he was here in Virginia Beach talking.
Oh.
And I got a friend who was working on his campaign, and I get free T-shirt. How nice!
You know you're subversive politically, Alex.
I'm subversive?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Uh-huh. I'm just interested in the current times, what's going on. So how are you all taking this explosion of COVID?
Well, I, for one, was really bummed out when I heard there was new restrictions.
Yeah, I was starting to decorate my Christmas outside, and somebody came and said, they have bumped the COVID restrictions up in Virginia again. So I didn't know that either. So yeah, so what is the restriction now in Virginia? And
Well, it used to be you could have groupings of 250 people, and now it's 25.
oh, it's limited back down to 25.
Mm-hmm.
25.
Wow. So Audrey, you're not gonna be able to have party anymore.
Oh, we'll still have one.
Ah! So, any other restrictions that's happening?
Yes, but I don't. I think the bars have to close by 10. I'm not sure about the restaurants. It's just minor things.
So no bar hopping tonight? Damn.
Thanks for us.
But can you see how even though that news has changed, and just this group here, you guys are so used to it now, it's like no big deal anymore.
It's a big deal.
Who is a big deal? Who is that for?
It's a big deal to me because I sometimes worry about the grandkids. The smaller children I worry about.
Exactly. For some people, it's a big deal because families cannot interact as much and things change, and a lot of them. For others, it's not a big deal. Okay. And so, why do you all think that the COVID just went up?
Cold weather?
Cold weather?
Time. Other.
Who said that?
Being indoors, suffering indoors.
Oh, being indoors. So, man, you guys are really enlightened.
Arrows-
I need you all here to give me better answers. Come on, give me some really interesting answers.
It could be that they keep predicting the numbers going up, so people keep doing stupid stuff to make the numbers go up. I mean,
Thank you. They actually expect the numbers to go up. Okay.
I think people are relaxing their idea of
Mhm.
how to protect themselves, and they're not holding it as important now.
I think it's a
Knowing
combination of what Maggie and Susan said.
People are tired of it and they're just laxing.
Hey, Karen.
Hi.
The fairy is here. Yeah.
have your unicorn. I want one.
Hi, Karen. You look good.
Hey. Karen.
Yeah. Colorful picture. Yeah.
Hi, Karen.
And okay, so they're relaxing. They're not as careful, and so okay. So let's see. What is the spiritual reasons? I guess I have to ask good questions for you all to give good answers. So, what is the spiritual reason for it happening now?
I have a kind of far out one.
Okay. Give me
We were headed for a world war, but nobody wanted that, and so instead we had a universal vote, and this is how the universe decided to respond to what we've been doing to the planet.
That was deep.
May or
Go
may
Maggie.
not be so, but
Okay, so elaborate on your answer there. You said we were heading to the World War.
Well, I mean, like, if you pay attention to what people were, the chatter out there was building, and it still is. People are still pretty pissed off about so many different things: the economy, governments, capitalism, you know, blah 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 blah. You can go on and on. And we already know that we have really sensitive things happening overseas, and COVID just kind of shut us all down, shut everybody down.
Okay, so what is the difference between COVID and a war?
Alex,
Hold on
You
a
can't
second.
see the
Hold on a
virus.
second,
You
Robert.
can't attack the virus. You can't bomb the virus.
Right.
Alex,
Okay, go ahead, Robert.
remember back in March, you had a shield built around each one of us?
Uh-huh.
I believe in that.
Thank you. I still remember the original group, and everyone is still good. And you know, and I predict that. And so now there's a reason for everything that's happening, yes. Even the reason why I was asking you is answering towards unity or separation is because even though the election is over, yet it's not over. It's actually very stressful for a lot of people. It's almost like people are holding their breath or it's like they are stressed because there's no definitive answer yet. You're talking about over 150 million people there in between, yeah, and that is so invested in it, yes?
Yeah.
You know, and so there's a lot of stress. People, even though they don't want to see the news, they don't hear the news, there's a lot of people who are very, very stressed, you know, and then they're also fighting internally. You talk about it's an internal war here. So the level of stress also feeds the virus. And then the economy and everything like that is stressful for people. It actually feeds the virus. Audrey doesn't matter. She's too relaxed. Nothing happens for her. Oh, they la-di-da.
I'll take that with me and use that tomorrow when I'm feeling stressed.
Yeah. So if they don't know how to relax, it's really harmful for them. It really is harmful for them. You know, the older people also are very worried. And when they're worried, it's actually high stress. And high stress strains the body's immune system. You know, and you guys are over here very confident, knowing that you're not going to get it. The confidence gives you immune system boost. Make sense? Yeah, and you can actually sense it. It's like, I don't know if you guys have experienced it. It's like, you know, you're clear, and then you go to a certain place, like, they don't feel safe. You can sense that's not a good place to go. You actually pull back.
Definitely.
Yeah, Robin's shaking the head. There is a sense there for the people who actually uses this system. You know, you will have like, yeah, or it's like, no, even they have it, it's not going to affect me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So yeah, so that actually is also producing a lot of that. And why the whole world is exploding in it is because there is actually a huge several things that is needing to be adjusted. One is population adjustment. The population is now being redistributed. And they have to actually reevaluate how they live. The conditions that they used to live has not been healthy or conducive to their soul and their family. And so it's really being evaluated. They actually have to look at that. And a lot of people actually have to move out of a place that's not healthy and get out. And so they're actually being redistributed.
Alex,
You know? Yes.
does any of this have to do with people's different timelines that they're on, the collective timelines and the individual timelines?
The way I'm talking about COVID is a worldwide timeline. So actually everybody existing right now is in our timelines are all being intersected right now here. Yeah.
That explains a lot, Alex.
Yeah, because it's almost like everybody's trying to do the timeline, but because this timeline, we're all interwoven right here, there's a line, there's a section where we all go, where we interact, even though we're all different, but we're interacting right here in the same timeline here.
Well, this whole year has been complete deja vu for me, and synchronicities and times lining up and losing time. Yeah, there's definitely a big time thing going on right now.
Yes, there is. And where is it? Okay, I lost my thing. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, there it is. All right. So with regards to this timeline, this COVID is happening in a worldwide. Is actually in the Earth timeline right here, right now, for every soul here on Earth.
Right.
You know, the society that is not a part of the society is almost like little villages way out in the country by themselves. They have their own timeline.
Makes sense.
And they have their own vibration. They chose to be separate from everybody else's timeline.
Or maybe in the Himalayas or somewhere.
Right. They're so far, they actually choose to disassociate themselves. It's almost like they don't have internet, they don't have news. They just go about, the news comes from he said, she said, he said, she said. You know, so it's like their own little timeline, and they live to 100, they live to 120, but they just enjoy themselves. So they have very little stress and things like that. So, you know, so the weather, they already know their weather because they always use the same weather pattern. So there's nothing strange, and their economy is not based on somebody else's economy, import, export, none of that. They are just self-sustaining. But because our world is so big now, and we are so interdependent on so many of us, you know, it's like, and food, clothing, shelter, goods are so interdependent right now that because of the interdependency, they're all on the same timeline. So the funny thing about if you look at soul, it's like soul choose to be in a society. And when you choose to be in that society has a society timeline. And so you have to work inside that timeline. Okay, so now let's look further now with the COVID and everything like that is actually changing the population, and a lot of people who are actually disgruntled or unhappy with life, this is a very good excuse for them to get out. This is an easy way for them to get out. Because right now in our society, you cannot just say, I just want to go out into the jungle and die. People will make you wrong. You know, and you cannot choose to just die. You know, you cannot, you know, there's only a few countries that actually permits doctors to help you transition. You know, in our country, that unless you are in a terminal case or something like that, they wouldn't allow you to do that. So there is no way to go other than the natural hard law, because we use so much medicine, we actually prolong death so much.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so this is actually one way for the soul to say, okay, I'm done with life. I'm going to get it, and it's going to go quickly. Yeah, because a lot of people are actually what I call tired of life. If you look at them, they're tired. It's funny how we call life. Everybody's so happy. It's like you wake up so every morning, go to work the whole day, and then come back tired, and then have to cook dinner for family or anything like that. And by the time you cook dinner, it's time for bed. You have to clean up. Oh, I forgot to clean up. You have to clean up. And then it's time for bed. And you do that over and over again. You know, when there was a group of people who came from Africa, and they were given opportunity to go to New York, and they give them work in a restaurant. So these people go to work every day, and they come back so late. Restaurant closes 11 o'clock, things like that. And by the time they come back, they go back to sleep, and they start again the next day. They don't even get a chance to meet with their own friends, their own family. And they said, why are we working so hard to barely keep up with a small apartment that all of us are squeezing in there? You know, in Africa, we don't have to work. We all play around, we go do our own things, go find our own food, and come back and sit down and play. A lot of them actually want to go back into that life instead of staying here. You know, so the quality of life is very different, and a lot of us have to reevaluate the quality of life. And like I told you guys earlier in the other section, is that if you're on your soul journey, you won't be as affected. But if you're not on your soul journey, voila, it's a 2x4. You know, it's like it's time for you to wake up to reevaluate your reason of existence. And so a lot of people's life has been, bam, wake up. Because, I mean, I was sharing with you guys one time when I was up in New York. We went on the kids and I went on a carriage ride around the Central Park. And we asked the gentleman, I says, how long have you been doing, we asked the gentleman, do you like doing what you're doing? He says, you're riding the horse. He says, no, we don't like it. And so how long have you been doing? He says, 6 miserable years. We look at each other and says, we're not asking him another question. Literally 6 miserable years. You see what I'm saying? And they don't want to change. They have
Imagine what the horse feels like.
I know, that's what I was thinking, Linda.
And what did you say, Linda? I was talking when you were saying.
I said, imagine what the horse feels like.
Exactly. You know, so, and the horse was just trotting around, not too happy. And so I just went
the same thing,
and
round in circles.
Yeah. And I
And
just
feeling the energy from the man who's guiding him. Who's not happy.
So the horse is happy. This industry has changed. Okay, nobody's there, so the horse don't have to do that. So yeah, this COVID actually is changing society's way of life. And a lot of people want to go back to the same way that it was. It's not going to be the same. Even though when we can go back, it's not going to be the same. And some people will do the same thing and they'll be unhappy the same way, you know, and another thing will have to happen. All right, so that's COVID, okay? Any question about that?
I have a question.
Okay.
So what percentage of the people do you think are actually happy with this change?
There is a very small percentage. I would say about 7 to 10%.
Wow.
Very small percentage. The reason why I said that is a small percentage is because the people that are truly happy with their own life, that actually created, that they're on their own path, that this thing is not actually affecting, is actually beneficial for them. So there are people that are actually very beneficial with this thing that's going on.
So are those people able to hold space for the rest?
Yes. And that's the reason why I'm talking today, to actually ask you guys to see if you guys are going to help me with that in a moment. Okay. So you guys are the important bunch today. All right. So what I mean by that is this. many things change very quickly. And many people, the moment a small change happens, they immediately fire a negative conversation. And so in our country alone, when the change is not completely gone over, and this COVID is added to this, plus the political climate, everything added to all of this, it will affect people who are not truly on their soul path, big time. And so their human monkey mind will fire right away. The first thing they will fire is they will blame. They will blame something that tells you they're not personally responsible. The second thing they will do is they will have negative conversations about it. So it spirals downwards. The energy is actually worsened. You know, the people who are not affected by it does not need to have a conversation. And they do not need to change their lifestyle. So they don't have a negative conversation, and they do not need to blame people. You understand that? So because the human brain fires like this all the time, and there's a reason for that. And for everyone, for you guys, the last time I started is that everything happens for a reason. And I said, everything happens for a good reason. Okay. A lot of people said, how could this be a good reason? Yes. If you look at it from a human perspective, it's not as easy to see as a good reason. But there are many ways to look at it as a good reason. And if you look at it from a soul perspective, if it didn't happen by mistake, that means it's actually happened by design, by the design of what I call a group soul consciousness of the world. It's a group soul consciousness, soul agreement. It's not a one-person agreement, it's a group soul agreement. Otherwise, it couldn't be spreading this big. So if it's a group soul agreement, it will actually trigger the human. If it's a soul lesson, it will actually piss them off, trigger them off. It will really trigger them off until they find peace. The trigger is what helps them grow. Humans are so complacent in most times. Okay? So the ones that are not triggered is because there's no lesson there for them. They already got it. They don't need to deal with it. They're okay. They don't care, but they just can write it out. They just actually, some people just go on vacation or go on retreat. So they're not affected by it is because they're already on their path and don't have to change. But the ones that have been triggered, they're pissed off, they're all that. Now, that's a soul lesson, huge soul lesson. So let's look at the soul lesson from the perspective of unity. Okay? The country everybody's talking about is divided, yes? Is it true?
Yes. It's still true.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still true.
So it's true from the perspective of yours. So what makes the country divided? In order for us to understand and bring unity, we need to know what makes them divided, or what makes any people, not just the country, what makes a relationship divide, what makes a friendship divide, what makes people divide, what makes people divide?
Differences of opinion.
Differences of opinion is the beginning, but that's not the source of it. What is it?
I think grudges and resentment.
Grudges and resentment are opinions, but that's not the source of it.
Lack of
Making others wrong, like blame.
Oh yeah, people are full of opinion and
Judging.
judgment, and they make each other wrong, but that's also not the source of it.
Lack of communication.
The lack of communication is definitely part of the problem, but it's not the source of it.
It's
Not
a
fear.
fear. It's a fear.
Okay,
Fear.
Robin, what did you say, Robin?
Ego.
Okay, wait a minute, Robin was trying to say something. What was it, Robin?
I was only saying fear.
Fear. Okay,
Yeah,
fear
I
is
said fear too.
fear is actually a reaction to the separation, but that's not the cause of it. Robert?
Ego, he said.
Ego. You know,
Well, all of these things that they say is actually part of human ego, correct? But
Safety
it's still not the
issues.
source of it. We will have to use ego because we are all human, okay? But
Fear of death. Fear of death.
no, fear of death is actually just exacerbate the separation, but it's not the cause of it.
Survival instincts.
Survival instincts is an automatic human behavior, but that's also not the source of it.
What would you rephrase the question then?
I say, what is the source of separation, causing people to separate?
Lack of love.
Lack of love, Robin? Well, they're already angry at each other, so there's definitely no love, okay?
They can't agree on anything.
Well, they can't agree on everything. That's the outcome of it, okay? So go ahead.
They're mirroring their own insecurities.
They're mirroring their own insecurity. That is just their state of being, but that
Alex?
also doesn't cause it. Okay, John?
Soul expansion?
Soul expansion, no. This is actually causing them to have to expand, correct?
The lack of understanding that we're all one.
A lack of understanding is actually very close to it, yes.
Lack of love.
Well, hold on a second, Kathy. Let me emphasize, because you said the lack of understanding that we are one. They don't have that understanding.
Right.
Sorry. So that's not it. All right.
Perspective?
But you're almost there. What was that?
Perspective? Is it just a perspective?
Oh yeah, everybody has a perspective. Definitely.
Oh, that's opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody has an
Very
opinion, but that's human. But it's not the cause of it, because every one of you have different perspective right here, right now. And every one of you is actually using ego the way you're thinking right now. And every one of you also have fear, but you are not expressing it here. And yet we can talk here. Okay? It doesn't cause separation here, but it's very easy to cause separation when you understand it, and it's very easy to help a unity when you understand it. But that's why I wanted you all to get that. Okay? Because you can be so powerful in your own life if you understand this. And if you understand any reason for any separation, the kids separate from parents, couples getting separated, father, mother separating, and kids and parents separating, and community separating, friends separating. What is the fundamental cause of that?
Change?
Say that again.
Change?
Change? No, change happens every day. Sorry.
Control.
What did you say?
Control.
Control? No, that's just part of human. Human loves to control and avoid controlling, and definitely that's part of it, but that's not the source of it.
Lack of understanding.
It is definitely lack of understanding, but that's still not the source of it. Wow, I am surprised. Are you guys puzzled? Are you guys curious?
Yes.
All right, I'll let you guys go figure it out, and we'll talk about it next time.
Oh, Alex.
Oh.
Now let's change the subject.
Oh, Alex.
That's just mean now.
Oh.
You're just being mean.
You are mean, Alex.
Mean.
Well, Audrey, welcome back to my sense of humor. But I can go into that nice little Buddha conversation and say, this is a serious conversation. I can be very humble and gentle. But that's not me. I'm just playful. Sorry.
Have your samurai out, Alex.
There you go. I can bring out my samurai. You know, just like Joe, we just love to have fun, right, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's funny. Transformation can be fun, but also transformation can be serious. But you see how a lot of people create the significance of this thing and make it so serious that if you don't take it serious, they judge you. And yet they say, thou shalt not judge. They're actually coming from that space. They say, thou shalt not, and yet they judge us already because we're not serious like them. And yet we are having fun. And we're having too much fun. They're suffering. They're judging us already.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're angry if you don't suffer like them.
You see how funny that is? You know, they said, thou shalt not judge. And they're so serious, right? And then they actually said, I asked them, you know, what do you want in your life? I want to have fun. I said, why can't you have fun now? Well, I'm serious right now. This is a dangerous time right now.
It's dangerous.
You see how funny they are? They actually, and they judge all of us for being playful and having fun.
You remember, Kathy, that time that religious couple, the family bought us lunch because they heard us talking about past lives?
Yeah, she got mad.
At the Thai restaurant, and they paid for our lunch. That was awesome. I was thinking about it the other day.
Yes, I remember.
Audrey one time. Someone gave me like $10.
They paid for both our lunches. It was nice. And they left us a little note saying that, you know, we should accept Jesus. And I said, thank you, Jesus, for buying us lunch.
That was good.
But it's so good to see Glenda on the line. Welcome, Glenda. And
Hello.
hello. Good to hear from you, and I'm glad that you are part of the circle today. So, in any relationship, whether it's business, personal, or friends, or the country, the fastest way to cause separation is to avoid listening to each other.
Ooh, Alex.
Is one person is not being heard, appreciated, or understood. I mean, think about it. If you flash back in any of your relationship that happened, that did not work, is somebody did not feel heard, did not feel appreciated or understood. And so they get angry and they cut out communication, and then they go into a different group to be heard and understood. Can you see how automatic? That's human nature. How many of us, if we don't get heard or understood, we get angry and upset? If you guys don't put your hand up, you're not human.
Or we.
You must be in the Buddha zone.
Well, there are a bunch of star seeds in here, Alex.
Star seeds are even worse. They actually want to be heard. They actually want to say, hear my big story.
Never.
Oh, wait a minute. I have real important information for your planet. And they say, we don't need it. Oh, they're not happy when you said it. We don't need it. Oh, believe me, they chime in every day. I says, Slow down. It's like, no, it's really important. I said, I get it. It's important to you, but it's not important to me. What do you mean? I said, because I'm not ready for it. But the world is ready. I said, no, they're not ready. So what did you hear from what I just said here? Like the seed of all separation.
People need to be heard.
People are not listening to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're not feeling heard.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not feeling hurt. You get that?
They're hurt. They're unappreciated.
Well, when you hear them, they will heal. You understand that? They actually don't have to act out anymore. The moment you hear them, you hear, okay, so what is the problem? All right. And how are you handling with it? What is your frustration? What is your anger? What is your disappointment? They come down right away. Well, I do that every day. I know that. Okay? And so I'm not talking from just hypothetical. I'm talking about practical every day. I'm not talking about hypothetical philosophy here. I can give you philosophy, but this is practical everyday life. Human need to be heard, understood, and appreciated. And then when you can do all of that, they actually feel love.
Alex, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What if the person tells you, okay, I need this, I don't feel like I'm being understood, blah, blah, blah. And so then you demonstrate that for them continuously and they still say, you don't love me, you don't appreciate me, you're not listening to me.
When you say demonstrate, explain to me what you mean demonstrate, please.
I mean, so like if I'm having a fight with my significant other and they say, you just don't appreciate me.
Correct.
So then I say, okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, and so then you make a point and you make effort to...
What kind of effort did you make?
I made sure that everything that they did for me, that I pointed out, hey, I'm really glad that you did that for me. I'm really glad. Thank you very much. Like ask my kids, I tell them thank you for every stupid little thing, like whether it was important or not, just because of that one experience with that person in the past taught me that people need to be appreciated.
Correct.
But he still told me he just never felt appreciated.
Okay.
And so it's like, obviously I was missing the boat somewhere.
Yeah, Maggie, take a deep breath. How many of us have tried that? We acknowledge them. Wow, you guys did so good. You did so awesome. And yet, they're still angry. Yeah? So, take a deep breath. Okay, thank you for coming back and listen.
But it doesn't have to do with you.
Well, she's in that relationship. The reaction has nothing to do with you, but she's in the relationship wanting to resolve something. And she's asking me why. Oh, why does that happen? So the answer to that question, thank you for elaborating so that it makes sense why you're talking about. Everything that you tell them is not what they want to hear. And you have no idea. You get that? Well, you thought that's what they want. They still did not feel hurt. So the area that they need to be heard was not heard. You hear that? All they want is not the 5 things, but the one thing that they want to tell you.
Isn't it about love language, Alex?
Actually, it applies to all love language. It really applies to all love language. It applies to men and women. That's why I'm giving you a universal seed. It applies to all culture. It applies to all ages. Think about it. two Chinese people don't hear each other, what will happen? Two Italian people don't hear each other. And if they're in the mafia, what will happen?
Oh God.
Going for a ride.
Yep.
Two gangsters in the hood, if they don't hear each other, what will happen? You see what I'm saying? So, Maggie, I'm going to bring it back again to you. This helps everybody else. Giving them the acknowledgement makes no difference when they're frustrated. They actually cannot hear the acknowledgement when they're frustrated. If you want to calm their frustration down, you actually have to find what they want to be heard. That is the fastest way for them to calm down and to appreciate you. Have you all actually experienced something like that when somebody get angry and you actually intentionally
I
want
have.
to understand, and when you listen to them, they actually calm down? Lini, you said you have?
Yeah. Yeah,
Share-
I had an
share with me.
interesting situation. Can you hear me?
You're kind of a little bit choppy, but yes, go ahead. Just slow down.
Okay, it was shortly after the 2016 election.
Mhm.
At Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
something came up between myself and one of my brothers, who's quite conservative. It
Mhm.
caught me off guard because I was just talking about the environment, and then he dove at me. And I just went into listening mode because I was so shocked, but I really listened. It's like, because he hit me so deep, so fast, I just went boom, and I was fully present. And we've never had that issue ever since. I could feel that he felt so heard by me, and I didn't know what I was doing, but it was so, got
That
to
was-
know where he understood and where he was coming from. It was so good to hear him out.
Thank you for sharing that example. That was actually your self-defense mechanism. When somebody attacked you, Lini, when somebody attacked you, when you say attack, he actually verbally attacked you, not physically, right?
Right.
Right. So he verbally attacked
Yes.
you. You actually went into a self-defense mechanism. So your self-defense actually went into listening mode. Your soul knew if you listen, it will be good. And so you see, that is the key. Ha ha! You have the tool. No more telling them, why do you not get me? No.
Love
The
that.
more you tell them, the more you're not getting.
Yeah.
The more they tell you,
Yeah.
and the more you say you want to, you're not doing it.
I felt so blessed to get to understand more about him.
Exactly. You
What
not
I
only
learned. I
understand
never.
what it is, you understand why, you understand him. You understand that?
Yeah.
Pretty powerful.
I never thought to
Congratulations.
ask.
Everybody give her a hand. She did something she didn't even know, but it was what? It
And
exemplifies this example.
And you had the genuine interest in learning and wanting to know.
People feel so hurt and so appreciated. Like I said, if they feel so hurt, so appreciated, and you really understood them, they actually feel the energy of love without you even having to say anything. I mean, think about the moment in one moment in your life where somebody sat down and took the time to really hear you in your times of need or in your times of trouble, and they actually understood without even trying to fix you, without even trying to give you suggestion, without even giving you compliment. They just listened to you. They just heard what you are complaining about or what you're having issues with, and they allow you to voice out those feelings, and they didn't do nothing. And you keep saying, thank you so much. They said, okay, I don't know what I did, but all right. But you felt better. Have you all experienced that?
Yes.
Yeah. Funny, isn't it? I mean, I want you to really think about it. This is a powerful seed. If you know this seed, you can, I mean, I teach this seed in advanced communications, people that study this thing in trying to bring peace to the world and, you know, in going out in different places to have conversations. But if they don't hear, if you don't hear them, they get angrier and angrier and angrier.
Sometimes they get hurt too, right, Alex? And they go deep within.
When you say hurt, means pain or hurt, as in here?
Hurt as in pain.
Okay, so of course, like I said, when you're not hurt, you get frustrated, yes? How you get frustrated is because you get angry, so you're painful already. So that is all the human ego firing right here. If you want to fire somebody very easily, don't listen to them. Don't do that. Just because you know how to. Maureen, don't go firing people. Now, anyway, what did you hear about what I'm saying? Does it make sense to you guys, or do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, Kathy.
All right, I understand what you're saying. If I have, however, in a family situation where I'm just going to say it because this is a.
I don't want to hear you, Kathy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't want to hear you. Can you see how I just interrupted you and I causes you a reaction?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to demonstrate to you how something so simple could cause that. And Kathy, I want you to continue. Thank you. I'm going to listen. So you have a family situation. Continue, please.
Well, I am hurt because my daughter-in-law was mean to me and reflected to me that she was very upset with her husband, which is my son, because he was a lousy father, and he's an excellent father, and he was doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing, like he goes hunting, and she didn't like that, and she was using a very acid tone with me, the same tone she uses with him, and it's causing him to gain a lot of weight to protect himself. And all this is driving me into despair because I'm afraid they're going to break up. And I don't know how to listen to her because she talks against him to me. It's very hard.
Okay. And so what is your question? That is what you describe. That's happening now.
So how do I listen? How can I help her listening? I listen to her and she's, how can I not be offended by her views of my own son?
Okay, so those are very good questions. I cannot answer you in one sentence because I actually train the advanced people like Joe and who in the training how to actually lead them using questions. Okay, how to lead them to where you want them to go. And so you need to know the art of that, and you cannot be triggered by that. If they're saying, like for her, if she's saying something like that, you know, that she's already angry. She's not hurt. She is not hurt by her husband, which is your son, and you are not hurt by her because you don't want to hear what she's saying. Okay, so you're already denying what she's saying. So you're already being triggered by what she's saying. So you cannot solve that problem when you're being triggered. So you need to be able to be centered.
Okay.
And like be able to guide her in the conversation. In the advanced training, you actually go into and says, okay, so what is it, the issue that you're having with your husband right now? But when she says an issue about your husband, you cannot react. If you really want to hear her, you cannot react from what she's saying about your husband.
Right.
Because the moment you react, you're thrown off. You are now angry at her and she's angry at you. So that's not going to solve anything. Make sense?
Yes.
So you actually want to know, if you want to learn, you want to learn how to guide them out of that.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes, that's what I want to learn.
Yeah, so don't, I cannot just give you a one sentence answer, but I want you to understand that you have to master yourself so that you are not triggered by this. And that's why, in the like Robin's going through this gift training, it's like I says, everybody will have an opinion, and all those things is how can you be centered if you really want to help people? If you're triggered by somebody saying, oh, your mother is a da-da-da-da, or your son is a da-da-da-da, you're triggered. You're already off.
Yeah.
Your center.
Okay. All right.
Make sense? So if you let go of whatever she say and be able to just hear her and then know the right question to ask her to get out of it, then you can help her, okay?
Yes.
Now, Robin, now you now understand how important it is. I said, you gotta be bulletproof. You get that? Because somebody can just say something, it's like, you want to help them. All of a sudden they say, oh, your hair sucks. Your hair is ugly. And you got thrown off. It's like, well, let's have opinion fight. Let's see who's got better opinions.
So I remember when my husband and I first got married, and we were living together and kind of adjusting to each other. And I remember getting upset about little things. And then one day he said to me, I don't think that's really what you're upset about. What are you really upset about? And really, I was focusing on all these little superficial things, but I was really upset about something much deeper.
Yes.
Until he asked me that, I wasn't willing to share that with him.
Yes.
Especially early in the relationship.
Yes.
But when he did that, then I felt free to share, and he heard me. And I think, I learned a lot from that.
Yeah, but the moment you felt hurt, what happened?
Oh, the anger turned to the frustration, really did open up to love.
Ha! And again, that confirms my conversation. You see that? Can you see now how the frustration was? A lot of people like her. That's why I said in the gift training, I asked them to listen beyond the complaint. Yes, like I'm able to hear you are complaining about her. She's complaining about him, and you're complaining. The complaint is not the problem. You see that? The ego is not the problem. It's the soul. Like Joe, yesterday we were going through a training. I says, they have all this drama, right, Joe? All this conversation, right? But what is the real reason they're frustrated? Yes? He was like blown away when I showed him those things, okay? So, but what I'm saying in those kinds of conversation, we are here. If we want to be the source of the solution, we've got to understand the problem, yes?
Yes.
Because if we don't understand the problem, we're just trying to put Band-Aid here and Band-Aid there and stick your finger in the hole in the dam and hold that one and hold that one and hold that one and give an ice cream to this lot, and put a lollipop to this kid. It's not gonna work.
Reach on, Alex.
Well, when you say it's the soul, then how do we know what their soul problem is?
Okay. Okay, just like Audrey was saying, okay? So when people are complaining and are unhappy, just simple thing, unhappy or complaining, okay? What is the real reason? Not many people actually can hear the real reason. They complain, it's like, the house is nasty, nobody cares about me. They complain a lot of different things, yes?
Yeah.
That's normal human being. He's like, oh, wow, she's always late. He's always doing his own thing. They complain about a lot of things. So how do you find the soul? It's called through listening. So if you really like Lini, like really like self-defense, it's like this is the most dangerous. You have to listen. So when you really listen deep, like Audrey's husband, she heard her frustration, but he felt there's something deeper there. You all know that. If you all are willing to not take the complaint personal, and if you hear somebody complaining to two people, you actually can easier, because it's not personal, you can actually hear, oh, these people are unhappy, but you can actually see the real reason why they're not happy. Okay? It's because if you don't take it personal, you can actually listen truly to the soul reason. So that's why, you know, in the advanced classes, the listening is so important. And I tell people, I say, you can listen a solution out of people. Pretty cool? Audrey, does it make sense now?
Oh, definitely.
Are you seeing flashbacks on a lot of where miscommunications and misunderstood, and many people, you know, you look at everybody's life, in our life, in my life, when I study, it's like, what causes people to be together for 50 years? And why so many marriages just break up? You know, it's like 60% break up. And why friendship doesn't last? And how can somebody's friendship can last for 100 years? Well, as long as they live, you know. But, and so I studied those things. I was like mind boggled by the answer. And I gave you guys my studies one little tip here that is so powerful, that if you all can understand this, you guys can actually solve a lot of problems. So, any questions or any puzzles or anything like that?
Hey, Alex, where I'm kind of getting hung up a little bit is, and like, obviously this is just my perspective or where I was coming from, but what if you felt like you were the one always listening to the other person, and in a deeper type of a relationship, you also wanted to be heard and you felt like they weren't even capable of hearing you? Like every time that you tried, they took it personally and fired back to be mean rather than to listen.
So again, take a deep breath and release. And please say this statement. She's done one training series, so I can tell her directly.
Okay,
So please say, so hold on. So please say, just pause for a second. Please say this statement for me, please. I'm ready to hear the answer.
I didn't hear the answer.
I don't believe you. Say it again.
I'm ready to hear the answer. I asked the question, Alex. I was ready to hear the answer.
No, you were ready to complain.
No, I wanted the answer.
Remember that you said, you start off with, I think this is only my perspective. No, I'm asking you to hear because it's actually a lot of people's perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so congratulations. You have, are you gonna hear me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Congratulations, you have made yourself the person to be everybody's listener in every relationship. Or you don't want it, but you automatically do it. The reason why you're frustrated is because you choose people who cannot listen to you. So congratulations, they cannot hear you, and only you can hear them.
Wow.
And so, of course, you set yourself up for disappointment. What did you hear, please?
That I need to look for people who can actually hear me and not take it personally.
Correct.
And allow people to hear me and
Somebody
allow to
who,
be heard.
if you want to be heard, you have to choose people who can hear the way you hear for them.
Maggie, thank you for being the example again. You're awesome at that.
Did you hear what I'm saying, Maggie? It is not their problem, is it? They cannot hear you because you need a deeper level of listener. And you wonder why they don't hear you. You're complaining to them, remember? I said your disappointment comes from the seed that you are not being heard, yes?
In a close relationship, you're going to have complaints. It's just like you're different people.
Because you choose somebody that cannot hear you in a close relationship. What did I just say?
Repeat after Alex.
Everybody heard this, Maggie. That's why I'm asking you to start off. I can hear Alex. You need to hear this for yourself, not everybody else. Everybody, could you all see clearly what she's going through right now? It's obvious, yes?
She's not the only one doing it.
I hear you.
It's
I hear
obvious
you
from the
too.
outside. You get that? It really is obvious from the outside in every relationship. I can see so quickly. But Maggie, I know you're disappointed. You wanted the true answer. Instead of being disappointed, use it as an aha moment and says, I got it, Alex.
Oh, no, I'm not disappointed in you and the answer, Alex. I'm disappointed in other people.
I know you're not disappointed. I say you're disappointed in the relationship with the people. I know that.
Okay. Gotcha.
But you're disappointed at yourself. Instead of being disappointed.
Yes, that's true.
Instead of being disappointed, that's what I'm saying. Instead of being disappointed in yourself, just take a deep breath and say, I will find people who can listen to me. Remember, we've gone through this training. Instead of lingering on why can't they listen to me, what could you shift to?
Well, hear me and understand me. I'm heard and understood.
Now you will find people. That means you open the door to attract them. You get that? I used to find people who cannot understand me, and now what?
I'm attracting people who can.
Yeah, you don't want it. You still want to just listen to them and they don't hear you.
Actually, I'm pretty fine like this. Just me, but yeah.
What did she just set up herself for?
Huh?
What did she just set herself up for?
Giving up.
No, I'm not giving up. I'm happy.
More of the same, yes?
Yeah, no, I'm happy like this. But yes, I am attracting people who can listen to me, who can hear me.
Alex?
You don't believe it. I don't buy it. Hold on a second, John. John, do you believe her?
No.
Nah.
Not one bit.
Well, it's not up to you to believe me. It's only up to me to believe me. So there.
But I still don't believe it.
That's like nanny boo-boo.
I don't have to believe it.
Exactly.
I really don't care about it because it's your life.
Yeah, exactly. I
Exactly.
believe it.
So if you want the same, don't change.
No, okay.
Don't change. Nothing will change. And so I'm proposing to you to use the tools that we were giving you that you can quickly shift it when you saw, oh, I got it. Like I told Joe, I said, this is something that's been running. I said, bring it to the front. It's like, oh, yeah, this is the stinky spaghetti. Twink. Okay? So it is up to you. So I'm just proposing to you after this session to think about what you want and to create what you want. Is that okay?
Yeah, I prefer to do it after the session. Thank you.
Yeah, take your time. Like I said, just do that. And then when you get it, text me and says, I got it. Okay, please? This is your own time. I'm just proposing to you could do that. Make sense? Perfect. So can you all see how clearly it is when you are an observer? But you also have to develop a listening, yes? Instead of listening to the drama, you have to listen to the real thing that they need to be heard. You get that? Okay, so I said separation. The seed of separation is not being heard. John, what is the question?
I was good this time, Alex. My question is for those of us who have been in a relationship that is a good listening relationship. And I mean, it's a really profoundly good listening relationship, but something goes awry because of our soul journeys. And then suddenly the listening isn't so easy anymore. What do we do then?
Okay. So you do hypothetical. So I'm going to give you a hypothetical answer.
Thank you.
So when souls comes like that, like you were doing this, so when they're intersecting, they both are interested in listening. When they start to go their separate way, the contract is finished for now. One or the other will not be interested in hearing. They'll be doing their own thing. And this one might still want to come back to this one, but this one is actually going this way. So they will not hear. And then when they come back again, there's a moment that was like, whoa, this is what we were missing. And they were talking again. And then they go their separate ways again. The contract's over again for that moment. But when you have a contract that both are growing together in partnership, there's no such experience. Is that hypothetical enough?
It was wonderful, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a good question, though. It really is. Robin, you're laughing. See, I can be practical, I can be specific, and I can be hypothetical. I miss you guys. I miss you guys in a group, by the way. I really do.
No, you don't miss dishes, Alex.
Huh?
You don't miss those dishes.
I don't do the dishes, so I don't miss it.
But then there was the good food too.
No, well, it's the good company and the good energy, the good vibe. You know, I just love that. You know, it
We
just don't
miss
reach my
you
soul.
too.
You know.
I miss all of you.
I know, it's so nice when we can be in person.
Yeah. You know. Okay. So, any more questions first? Because this is very important. I want you all to get it because what you guys are here because you guys actually choose to be a solution for the world. Okay.
I have a question, Alex.
Instead of being the source of the problem. Yes.
Why are you so awesome?
Because I choose to be.
That's right. Okay, that was my question.
Thank you for. Does that answer your question? Yes. I am so right on today. Look at that. Okay, so we have to be confident for ourselves. You get it? We cannot wait for somebody else. Okay, so like I was telling all these people, in the training, I said, claim your power, right, Robin? It's like, I'm powerful, claim your power. Joe's like, you can't knock him off anymore. It's like, even if you tell him his head is a square head, he's like, okay.
He'd say, thank you for noticing.
He'll make a joke out of it because he's a comedian, so he's just so bulletproof right now. It's not even funny. But it's funny because he just have fun with it. Okay, so do you understand what I'm talking about, though? When you understand, if you look at any confrontation, any country that is at war, any relationship that broke up in the past, and you see people are having problems in relationship, what is the source of the problem?
Not being heard and not listening.
Alex,
Yes.
there's always going to be, like, like, say, for instance, you know, like, say with the president, so some people believe in one, and then, and they have their opinion, they want to be heard, and then the others have their opinion, they want to be heard.
So
everybody's gonna, there's the two sides of the spectrum there, and okay, so they come together and they hear each other, but there's still going to be differences.
So what is your question, please?
So how is there going to be peace if there's still going to be differences? One wants it one way, one wants it the other way.
Correct. So I explained to people who earlier before in the past is that the president is a young soul. He wants it his way. And he's also a king type. So he'll create his own rules. Okay? So when he does that, he only wants to be heard. He don't want to hear anybody. So that is where the problem lies right now. Okay? And the other one wants to hear, but the other side is not hearing him. Remember I said the seed of the problem is they are not being heard, yes? So what is your question with regards to the two of them? You already told me the problem. What is the question for me?
Okay, so there's two different perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
and so how do we create peace?
Okay, so we cannot create peace from them because he doesn't want peace. He wants to win at all costs. And it's all about him, which is a young little spoiled brat action, like a little younger soul, or a younger person thing, a win at all costs. So I'm going to give you a solution for all of you to bring unity. Okay, so can you hold on for the conversation? So let me see if I can change the view here. Okay, so I want to see you guys too. So when you want to, because right now, Maureen, it is not your place to change the president. You get that? It is not your place. You're not going to be able to. You don't have the power, you don't have the strength, you don't have the understanding, you don't know how to change the president. You can't even reach him. You can't even talk to him. So that's not your place to either president. And it's not even in your contract. Make sense? Well, the problem is over there. But the problem is not actually over there. The problem is everywhere around us. It's everywhere around us in the country, in other countries. So when you understand the seed of the problem, you can do what you can with the contract that you have around you. That means the people that needs you, you can help bring unity. The people that will change him will have to have a contract that is very strong to be out there to do it. Do you understand what I mean when I say contract? I know you didn't do the studies with me, but do you understand what I say? So I want everybody else to understand. Do you understand? So hold on a second. Say that again, man.
The
Maureen.
soul contract.
Yes. Do you understand what I mean when I say soul contract?
That each soul has their own life soul contract with contracts with people that they've made contracts when they came into this life.
Correct. So let me give you a simple example here. Every life they come into, we all have contracts with people that we will interact with, that we will help, and that will help us to actually be on our human journey so that we can grow and we can also be a part of their lesson. Like you all have a contract with me here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why we are interacting. But if you don't have a contract with me, you'll not even see me. I already called upon you guys. I said, the people who have contract with me, come back to see me here in this era, in this time frame. The contract is only valid at this time frame. It might be gone tomorrow. It might be gone next week. Like, whoa, somebody was doing this, right? You know, so the contract could be here now. And then when tomorrow is done. Like tonight is a contract that we are all here, only these specific people here. And some people who have contract, they did not want to fulfill the contract, they did not come. But when you're here, the contract is now being fulfilled. And once I hang up, you guys go your separate ways. It's done. And the people who have agreement to study with me will have a different contract in part of this contract that will continue to grow. So that's what I meant when I say contract. Okay, so like I said, when I don't mean to say that you cannot make a difference with the president. If you have a contract with him, you will. It could be that you create a video on YouTube and help him see that, and then it go viral and he sees it and he goes, aha! But if you have a contract, go for it. Okay, so all I'm saying is the easiest way to make a difference is to quickly do with the people that have a contract. It could be this. I could have a contract with you. You have a contract with somebody. Let somebody have a contract with him. So you make the difference, that person gonna make the difference in the president. So the part of the country that is angry right now is because nobody hears them. The government don't hear them. Their state don't hear them. Their employees don't hear them. And probably their relationship don't hear them. So of course they will be angry, let down, disappointed. Some of them are downright upset. Some of them are downright depressed. And some of them are downright in dire need. So one way or another, there's so many people out here that is not being heard. So I am calling all of you, not just here today, but all those people who are actually going to be watching the video after this, to really get that if you want to unite anybody to really get the message of what causes the separation of anything. And when you understand that, and you are the source of unity, you are the source of unity, not the seed, not causing other problems. So when you choose to be the source of unity, what does that mean? That actually means you choose to be stoic, to be clear and centered, not to be triggered by their drama, to be powerful and centered, and you choose to be able to listen to them so deep that they will feel your love for them, and they will feel and let go of their frustration, disappointment, anger. And once they let go, their mind will be able to see solutions. But if you hold the space of listening to them that deep, they will find their own answer. You don't have to find the answer. If you can hear them and let this out, their mind, their body, they will feel that, and they will be so thankful for you, and they will have their own aha to their own solution. And of course, as human, you guys like to give tips. So you can give tips if you want, but that's not required. The first key is be the listener for them that they need. And then you can share your wisdom if you want. It's optional, but they will now be able to feel peace, and their family will be happy, and it will start to spread all the way up. I'm praying that you guys be the source of the solution to listen all the way up to the president. Are you guys game for that?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was good. We wrote it down. Well, I wrote it down.
Thank you for choosing to
fabulous.
play with me.
Yes.
Because we never know, like Joe has a story, we never know if we listen to just one person today, it could change many lives in the future, right, Joe?
Oh yeah, big time.
We never know.
Sure.
Unless, well, no, I wouldn't even go there. But for those people, but all we have to do is to listen to anybody that needs listening or that feels they're separated. So the one caveat to that, hold on, Robert, the one caveat to that I want to add is that don't see separation, see unity. So listen for unity. Understand? I don't care how separated they are, just listen to them for unity.
Unity of what?
Unity, that means they can be related to anybody. They can be related to the family, they can be related to different parties, they can be the uniting people, in other words. It could be different religion, uniting them. When I say unity, I'm talking universal unity, not just party unity. So it's a lot bigger than just ideology differences. Okay, so Robert, what was the question, please?
Our forefathers set up a system that no one man can change it. Just because of the way the elections are set up with the Senate, with the House of Representatives and the president, and the cycle of the elections, no one man can destroy our country.
Thank God for that. And guess what? Our president is a king type. He wants to change that. He can do everything by himself.
He can.
I know. You and I know that, but he doesn't believe that.
He doesn't.
I know we were talking about presidents, but
bring it to a relationship, like say a husband and wife, they both have differences and, you know, different of opinions and, you know, and
Okay, this is the juicy part. Go ahead, fire away.
yeah, I mean, you have different of opinions and, you know, you're gonna have difference of opinions and you listen and you hear them, but there's still gonna be the difference. So
Yes, is it not okay to be different? Because you are a woman and he's a man, is it not? You guys are already intrinsically different.
yeah,
So what is the problem? The questions, if you know how to ask the question, the answer is in the question. So let me give you a question here. Are you disappointed or is he disappointed?
well, we both have differences. I mean,
I know you have differences. I didn't ask you about difference. I said, are you disappointed or is he disappointed?
he is disappointed.
In your conversation with him, I'm not talking about the president. He's got his political idea. You've got your political idea. Are you disappointed in the conversation with him, or is he disappointed
Oh, he's disappointed
with you?
with me.
Yes. What is the answer?
What is the answer?
Correct. It's because he does not feel heard by you. And you don't want to hear it. So therein lies the problem. And you don't want to talk to him about it because he don't want to listen to you either.
Right.
So congratulations. What is the seed of the problem?
Not listening.
There you go. Now you see where the feeling becomes separated.
Yeah.
And the disappointment. It's not about the subject. It could be any subject. It could be the president. It could be the watermelon in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It really could be. It could be the car even. If one of you is only the listener and the other one does not listen to the other one, there will start to be a gap. That's the beginning of a gap.
Mm.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold your question, Maggie. So I want her to get this. So this is in every relationship, you guys. In the future relationship as well as the past relationship. Because I look at many relationships and I study my own relationship where I have breakdowns. Where I am the listener, but I am not being heard. When I'm not being heard, I now feel I'm not appreciated or understood. And then I make stories up like I'm not valued and I'm not lovable. So why I say to you is so important. If you just get this, you will master so many things in just this one key. So are you clear now? He has a political opinion, which is the same as he has an opinion about a car, he has the same opinion about the train, he's got an opinion about the house. And you have an opinion about the president, you have an opinion about your party, you have an opinion about the car, the train, the house. If the two of you can sit down and talk and both can be heard, there is zero problem. Zero problem. If one of you decided not to hear in any one part of that, it starts a problem. And just like Lenny, the moment she let go of her opinion, she listens to his opinion, it dissolves. So, does that make sense into where the problem begins.
Yes. I mean,
And like I said, this is, for those of you who have not done the work, it's a really big eye opener. It's like, how do you listen? Okay? You know, for those who've done the work, you can listen so deep. And I say you can listen the solution out of people. And I understand. All you have to do, like Lini didn't even do any learning. She just intentionally wanted to hear. If you intentionally want to hear the other person without judgment, without making any opinions, by just hearing, true listening, you will help them. And they will relate to you. And they will thank you for doing that. You will be a service to them. Okay? So, Maggie, what was your, but before you go, did I answer your question first, Maureen?
yes, you did. I mean,
Thank,
can I just say something? I mean, okay, so when the couple finally like listens to each other and they get each other and they're heard, and you know they still have their differences, you know. And
yes, it's okay to have differences. Really, we are human. It's okay. Like I like the wall blue, and she liked the wall green. It's okay, but I can share here. By the way, I like the wall blue, and I know you like the wall green. And I hear her, and she says the green is best for your room. I said, thank you for hearing me. I like the wall blue, but I also hear you that you say green is better, not just for me, but for the clients. So I accept. I choose a different answer that is not mine. That I listen to her opinion and her suggestion and her idea. And so she put the room green for me.
yeah, and if they can live with those differences,
Yeah, because they feel hurt.
you have a happy marriage. But if you cannot live with those differences or accept those differences, then you cannot be happy in relationship.
Well, here's where I say to you, you are here today. They are not here, okay? The person that you're talking to is not here. If he's here, I can help you guys both listen. But because you are here, I said the power is in the listening, yes?
Yeah.
So you have to listen to them, but because you are here, you also have to be the source of unity. That means you also be able to talk to them in a way they hear you. So you share with them. So remember I said you have to be calm and centered, stoic, yes? You have to be calm and centered. The moment you blew up,
Calm and centered. Okay, yeah.
yeah, the moment you blew up, it's no more communication.
Right.
It's competition.
Right.
The moment you blow up, that means you cannot hear him, he cannot hear you anymore. It's a screaming match now.
Right.
If you can listen from that center place, like I said, if you hear what I'm saying, you are the source of unity. If you listen from calm and centered, no matter what, nothing can control you. They said something to you. I said they will say things to you. They will say opinions to you. They will say about your mother, your father, your son, your kids. You listen to them until they are heard, and then you express to them until you are heard. There is usually no problem. When one rejects or the other, that's where the problem begins. Very good question, but this is a lot more detail that you want, and this is, I'm giving as much as I can for you to get this. Is if you want to solve the family problem, you have to be the listener, and you have to be the stoic person, because you are here to learn it. They're not here. You can teach them how to listen to you, but you're here. You're the one to listen for the answer for both of you. Understand?
Yeah.
You are here.
Right.
The only people we can work with is the people who are here
Mm.
and who are interested in.
Right.
I do not do third-party fixing.
Right.
Okay, so it's very important you guys understand that too for people who study advanced. It's like, don't try to fix another person through another person.
Right.
That's the worst, that's a setup for disaster. And then it's your fault anyway, because you.
That's exhausting.
Yeah, so, okay. So the solution is listening from a centered place. And some people like to use called love place, centered and love place, okay? But all it requires is centered. Okay, Maggie, what is your question?
I think you kind of answered it. It was just a follow-up to hers, which was basically extrapolating that to behavior, not just opinions, but like behavior. When there's a difference of one person does something one way, the other one does it another way, and there will be one person who tries to dominate and say, you have to do it my way. So, and of course, I guess that does go to opinion, but in behavior, I guess it gets a little complicated.
What is the complication?
Because when it's a behavior, you're just kind of going on about your business. You're not asking the other person every step of the way, are you okay with this? Are you okay with this? Are you okay with, it's not really as much of a like sitting down and having a conversation. It's just a natural way of being.
Well, so you're giving me a scenario, but what is the question?
My question was that how does this concept apply to behavior, not just opinion?
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you're giving me an example of somebody who has a different behavior from you, and you're trying to talk to them, and you're just sharing. So when I say true listening, you actually will have to create a situation where both of you will actually be in the same behavioral pattern, where you both can be sitting down or walking together or having dinner together in a similar behavioral pattern where the condition exists for true listening to happen. If one person is cleaning the room and you're trying to talk to them, that's not listening. That's just chit-chatting. You cannot have true listening like that, because why? One person's attention is clean the room. It's not the conversation. And the other person is actually listening thoroughly. So it's a one-sided conversation.
I think what I meant was more like two people are interacting and just going on about their business, and one gets mad. And so now there's a problem.
Yeah, but that is not about listening. That person is just mad about something. Yeah, he's mad about his food. He didn't get it right. He's mad about his car that broke down. That's his problem.
Right.
Yes.
So if we're wanting to have having a unity experience, and when we're interacting with the person, they're, blowing up or getting pissed or whatever, that's, I guess.
So that's not a unity conversation. That's
exactly.
You not being at peace with that problem.
Okay.
You not being at peace or cannot, and you have to understand your partner. This is how he does. This is what he does. It's like, when I understand somebody, it's like, yeah, that's gonna trigger them. I says, well, that's their way of handling it. I'm just gonna leave them alone, and I know they're gonna come down, and then we're gonna sit down and have a good dinner again. So I go about doing my own thing. I'm not triggered by that anymore. But
what if you still don't like it?
That's different. Then you need to have a conversation, my dear. Okay. A true conversation, not bitching or complaining. A true conversation where you express what you really are bothered by. But in the work that you and I do, I said to you, when you are triggered, I said, not them. They trigger you. You look at you first.
Yeah, I always do.
Right. So when we look at us, it's for us to help us to be the master of ourselves. Okay, so when you look at us, and then when we neutralize it, when I get triggered, I walk outside to my pond and I says, okay, what is the thing that triggered me? Somebody did something. What is it that's triggering me? They did it. Okay? But I'm not looking at that's the problem over there. They're just reacting to something. But why does it trigger me? So could I let them process it their own way?
I guess it depends on situation, but okay, I see.
It all depends. You're giving me this hypothetical scenario, so I'm trying to find out a way to give you an answer. The answer always comes back to us. If you're triggered by their behavior, one, you choose them. Two, there's lessons for you to learn here. Yeah? Very obvious. We choose them. And so is it their fault?
Well, it's still not about fault. It's still their
She says,
it's
well,
their
we already know the
behavior.
problem, right?
It's
She
their
says, well.
behavior, but it's nobody's fault. They're responsible for their behavior. I'm responsible for my reaction. It's not a fault thing.
Yeah. So it really is, you can now see the intricacies of conversation and communication, yes? And a master communicator or master, people who solve problems, a master of that, they actually just, like when you go and learn a mediator, you have to be centered in a piece. You get that? You cannot be triggered by their conversation. So I'm asking you guys, practice being centered. And if things trigger you, ask yourself, why are you triggered? Dissolve it and let it go. And if you cannot let it go, reach out to me, will help. And you said, reach out to your community and help each other, quickly resolve it. And then you can be the listener again. Does that help you, Maggie? I'm not here to solve all of life's problems yet. I'm here to solve unity, okay? Otherwise, we'll be here the whole night and the whole weekend because there's so many areas to cover. Okay. Thank you for asking, Maggie. Joan, what is your question, please? Thank you for being patient.
I'm like a Cocker Spaniel, Alex. So,
here's a treat.
Before Maureen, what?
Here's a treat.
Not as bad as Audrey is. She's really good with her dogs.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, very. So, anyway, going back to what you said right before Maureen wanted further insight. You were talking about creating unity within us. And I feel like it's a segue from what Maggie was also talking about as well. But what came to me, I'm closing my eyes on you, Alex, is that the other day, I had a unity thing happen because I'm getting really unified within myself, that literally someone contacted me 11 months after the fact because I'm feeling unity within myself. And I knew it, and it was amazing. So he's not making it up. It really does happen.
Okay, so is that an observation or a question?
An observation.
Thank
I got excited by what you said, and I had to share.
Thank you for sharing. I bet you found unity. Woohoo! Yay, comes back, yay! So, you guys asked a really good question here, really. It is pressing a lot of buttons here, okay? So, and unity is a big thing in any culture, in any conversation. It really is. It is like a lot of people try to get family to be united. A lot of people try to get friends to be united, community to be united, you know. And if you understand this simple key, you can actually help them get that, okay? Not only help them, but you can help your own self. I mean, if you look back in any failed relationship, I got something in my eye I'm trying to get out. If you look them in any failed relationship, it always begins with a misunderstood communication that broke down. And it could be about a subject matter that's very important to them. And the communication usually comes from not being heard or understood. Pretty crazy, huh? You all got the key to the problem of the world. So what are you guys gonna do about it?
Listen.
Listen.
You all can go transform the world now. Watch out, Robin's gonna go fly running, she's gonna go.
Go, Robin. Go, Robin.
Now Audrey's got the key, it's the golden key.
Go, Audrey.
Okay. I want to open up to any other question other than this, but so thank you for choosing to be the source of unity for the country by starting right around you. It could be in your office, it could be your family, it could be, just start right around you. You understand that? And if you want to, 2 or 3 weeks later, you can see how it all spreads. And then next time we talk, you can share with me and say, hey, look, this one reached that way. Okay? So you'll be surprised, but just start with you and around you. Is that okay? And if some of you who are inspired to touch the world and share with the world and get everybody to listen to each other, go for it. I know some people are itchy finger already. Want to say, God, everybody listen to everybody. Okay, go for it. Yeah, you hear that. The itchy finger is like, oh, I'm going to write something. Okay, go. Okay, but okay. Go spread it, but let them get it, okay? So you guys, I'm challenging you guys to come up with something where you can help and get everybody to listen to each other where they feel so loved and appreciated, okay? It all solves a lot of problems. It really does. It solves disappointment, it solves depression, it solves ailment, it solves frustration, it solves war, it solves conflict. I told you, you guys got the golden key here. You guys are the group here. You guys are the one that you guys choose to come here today.
There's also unfulfilled expectations that causes upset as well.
Correct. Unfulfilled expectations is always coming from people not hearing them or don't know how to hear them and tell them why did they choose that expectations that's not fulfillable. So you can actually listen to them and help them reach a fulfillable expectation.
And there's other ones too. Unfulfilled expectations.
Well, you know that's set up for disappointment, so there's no need to.
Miscommunication.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Today we're only talking about unity.
With landmark, there's a few different ones.
Yeah, that's landmark. Today we talk about unity and how to bring unity in your life. Unfulfilled expectations is people have their own expectations, which is a design for disappointment for that individual person, not you. Okay? You're here to unite. So there's no unfulfilled expectation, because the true listening here is that you're not expecting them to hear you, you're listening to them. So there's no disappointment possible if you're truly listening, because you don't expect anything. You're 100% listening for what they need to be heard. So you're not even coming, you're almost coming from a blank slate. A true listening is not like, okay, I'm thinking what he should be saying. No, you already put in your own listening, not listening for them. So a true listening is actually listening from a clear mind. Okay, so yeah, don't collapse those information. This is about unity. This is about just you knowing how to do that. And if you want somebody to hear you, then you need, like I was suggesting to me, then you need to find somebody that has the listening you need. Then you can talk to them where they can hear you. Then you have,
Alex.
then you have zero disappointment. Why? Because you are heard. There's no expectation that's disappointing here. You already say what you need. They understood it. They heard it. And you feel great. Believe me, you feel great when you're hurt. I feel great when I'm hurt. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I. But sometimes I have to talk to the fish, because the fish is the only one to hear me. So
We hear you.
True.
We hear you, Alex.
now you guys are too busy asking questions.
And we call you when we need somebody to hear us.
That's right. So what question do you have? I'm going to open the floor now. This is just a few more minutes. We just open the floor.
About this, or so, can I say something else?
Anything. This is about anything.
I remember one Thanksgiving you had a special healing circle about things at Thanksgiving.
Can you say that sentence again? Did you just break up?
I'm trying to remember what you said at one time we had a healing circle before a certain Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I don't know. It's been 10 years.
I remember. So tell me, what is it that you?
What was it that you brought up to help during the Thanksgiving meal with all the different types of people and their problems? You brought up something. Besides the listening, I got that part.
Correct. So I brought up a couple of things, different Thanksgiving, different things. I brought up that I said one thing, that if you go into a family that has a chaotic Thanksgiving, is you center yourself first and you don't take their energy personally. That means you actually create a barrier for that. You don't take their energy. And the other thing that I said to you, if they say something, instead of taking it personal, redirect the conversation. Redirect. If you don't want to hear them, if you know that this conversation is not going anywhere, be the person that choose the conversation, redirect the conversation to lead everybody into a new conversation instead of staying in that conversation that would cause war. So I said one of those is like, having fun and be very powerful. That I go in, one of the example I gave you was like, I'm going to go to this Thanksgiving, I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to make sure everybody have fun too. And if something throws awry, I'm going to just gently nudge them in a direction where everybody can be at peace. So you have to choose that you want to be the source of that happiness. Okay? So those are powerful questions, you guys. Powerful people here today. All right. And thank you guys for bringing unity to the world. One soul at a time. Woo!
Good night, everybody. I must go to work.
Okay.
Love you, Joe.
Bye,
Love you
Joe.
too.
Bye, Joe. Bye,
Go,
Joe.
go transform the people.
AKA Huggy Bear.
Uh-huh. So, any other question? Where is this?
You already answered mine, Alex. My question was, how do you be an individual and still create unity? And I think you pretty much cleared that up.
I love it. I love answering question.
Alex? Alex?
Yeah.
So when we're powerful people and we have great intention, what is our most numero uno way to be unified in the moment, be unity in the moment, so that we're feeling the unity in Thanksgiving?
Whoa, I completely missed it. What is the question again?
When we want to be unified, unity at Thanksgiving, what is your number one concept to do that?
Be centered first. That you actually make up your decision that nothing can throw you off before you go. You said the number one thing is be centered. That means you be the solution. Nothing can throw you off. Don't go start a battle.
What's your best way of getting centered? Get in touch with your core, being connected to the grid, getting grounded. What is your
You're asking a lot of questions over there. That's not being connected to the grid. Being centered is different thing. Okay, so when I say being centered means you actually be powerful yourself, that you do not let anything throw you off. Okay, no matter what training you have. But the more training that you have on yourself, and if you know your own ideology in your own training, and you know your own moral compass, whatever morality it is, if you know your own compass and you know your own ideology, your own mindset, and you know yourself. So the study of self is so powerful that makes you a solid person, that you cannot be thrown off by anybody. But because I don't have time to train you guys here, I said, choose to be centered and calm right now. And if somebody said something, and just say that's your opinion. Don't take it personal. Okay, that's the path of enlightenment, when people are so clear on themselves that they are now at peace with themselves, no matter where, no matter what environment you put them in, no matter what conversation they are, they're at peace with themselves. That's the center of enlightenment, is be at peace with oneself. And so if somebody said something to you, and that's why I'm drilling those people in the gift training, and the ones that got it will understand nobody can throw them off anymore. They're so centered. And if the ones that, and that's why I always ask you, if you're thrown off, I gave you the exercise. Ask yourself the question, why am I thrown off? And then complete that process. Don't just ask, complete, like, what can I bring peace to that? That once you bring peace to that one area, then you're not going to be thrown off again when it happens. So you want to get rid of all the things that throws you off all the time. So that's the journey of enlightenment, is to get rid of all of that, so that you're now 100% clear with yourself, your beliefs, your principles, and your moral compass. Make sense? Yeah, so when you talk about connecting with the divine, it's a different conversation. I teach people how to channel, how to connect. You're going to be connecting. These people are going to be connecting with the divine. So that's a different thing. You don't have to be centered to be connecting with something. You can be thrown off and still be connecting. You can be half dead and still be connecting. You can be in trauma and still be connecting. So connecting is very different. It's like some people who are in traumatic experience, like in an accident, and all of a sudden they connected to the source and they have power and strength that nobody even know how they got it. So yeah, connection is, for me, connection is a whole different ballgame. It's not just being centered. You know, some people who are playing sports, they are so connected to the sports source. They're like in the zone. I call it the Zen zone. When they are playing in the zone, it's like they can see the ball and everything slows down and they can do things like so beyond the zone. They are so connected to their power source. And some people do accounting. It's almost like when you start reading the books, and the world disappears. They see the numbers jump up. And they can see, like, they look at spreadsheet. I don't know how, but they could see the ones that's off, the numbers will jump out for them. They're in the zone. I love those people. I love the accountant, the movie. It's like he could see everything. It's like all the numbers were like he could play it in his head. It's like that's a zone. He's connected. So my connection, my definition of connection is very big and powerful and different. So I just want to let you know that just because you're calm, a lot of people talk about being in the Buddha zone or connecting to the divine. That's one form of connection. Make sense? Yeah, being centered is different as well.
So what do you suggest to do to be centered?
Well, the simplest way, if something throws you off, Maggie, what do?
What I do or what I used to do?
No, what do you do?
Okay, hey, my natural instinct used to be to like pretty much just shut down in the moment and not really.
I didn't ask you what you used to do, Maggie. I asked, what do you say? How do you center yourself?
How do I center myself? I declare that I'm centered because Alex taught me how.
Okay, remember the exercise? Take a deep breath.
Yeah, we did that at first, but then you
Right.
taught me how to center myself, and now I can center myself.
Perfect. Very good. So now she can center herself. So because she hasn't done the training, okay, so we're going to have to give her some way to help her. Okay. So most people, no, this is just universal. In order, when you are thrown off, you have to release that energy really quickly. When you're thrown off, when something throws you, you have to release. So you want to take a quick deep breath and release that energy that throws you off. And then the next thing you want to throw yourself off is release the conversation that throws you off. Because otherwise, if you take it, it's personal. So you take a deep breath, release the conversation. He says, I'm a jerk. Release that conversation. So then it's not part of your body system. And then the third part is claim center, like bring a powerful energy beam, bring center into your body. And I feel it coming into you and go all the way down through you into the ground. Then you just create a center of energy. And when you do that, I teach people, I say, when you put your hand like that, you bring energy, you tell your chakras, so the energy comes down, boom, center. That means your chakras is also being centered. It pushes into the center and it brings you center, everything centered, all the way down the chakra and all the way down into the ground. And you push it down and now you're grounded heaven and earth. So, does that make sense?
Make sure that people like Sylvan don't interfere with historical events.
Yes.
I've never heard of it.
Okay, so any other questions? We have no questions with that. Yay!
Thank you, Alex.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, you guys have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy
Thanksgiving. Happy
and
Thanksgiving.
go unite the world. Woo! Audrey, really good to see you. Okay.
Good to see everybody. Group hug.
Group hug.
Guys.
All right, buddy. Everybody have a good one. Have a good Thanksgiving. Okay.
Love you, Alex.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Alex.
Bye, Karen. Bye, Nancy.
Look,
Bye.